Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Advocacy. I am Paula. We have Bunny as my co host tonight, and we have two guests that's going to bring us some information that we feel will be very beneficial to not only our special needs community, but our caregivers. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to them, let them give us a brief description of themselves, and we're going to jump right into the subject.
Well, good evening, everyone. Grateful to be here. My name is Manetta Fields. I am in awe of what essential oils can do in our bodies. And so we're going to have that conversation tonight. But just a little bit about my background. I have 33 years as a credentialed healthcare professional, and I have transitioned over to the holistic health space and been doing that now for about 6 years. And so I look forward to sharing all the goodness that we have with you tonight.
And my name is Trey Kearney. I am a autism mommy. I'm an awesome autism mommy. I am a caregiver and I am a certified life and relationship coach. And I'm excited to share how the oils have supported my family.
Okay, and with that being said, and I'm glad you brought that up, Manetta, because I think you're on both. You, like you said, you were on the healthcare side, but now you're seeing it from the natural side. So, with that being said, let's kick this discussion off in that way. Tell us how you have seen some of the differences. I know you've spoken to me about some things, and I'm getting a little on board with this. So, I was excited to hear this because I want to hear more about how we can do things from the more natural side versus always taking the route of medication that's prescribed from, the pharmaceutical side.
Sure. I'll start with my own story, how it happened for me. So, our son had significant respiratory challenges as a child. And you know, that comes in triples. You have the respiratory, you have the skin response, and you have the GI response. So, we had all those things running together. And since I was conventionally trained, all I knew was to do what I was trained to do. Well, what happened was as he aged, so we're talking from the age of 2 to the age of 15, we were doing the conventional route. And the medications kept increasing, but so did the symptoms, which didn't make any sense to me. If we're getting more medication, we should see some improvement. And so I was at my wit's end. So I get it as a parent. You just want your child to be well. And so I went on a search. What do I do? Literally, I prayed, God, what do I do to help my child? I felt hopeless. I just didn't know where to turn. And believe it or not, back in the day when Periscope was on, Trey was on talking about her son, Jermaine. And I watched what happened in his transition and his health with using natural options. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. If it can help him, it can help my child too. So that's really how it all began. And I want people to understand you don't have to choose one or the other. They can work together. You just do it with wisdom and with guidance. You don't just go rogue and take your child off of things, because we need our support from our medical community. But doing it with wisdom, you can bridge the two.
That's a great point. And I want to hear from you, Trey, because of course you are a mom of an autistic individual. And I have an autistic son. Bunny has a autistic grandson. So for me, like Manetta, I was searching because I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm sure with our autistic individuals, in most cases, they don't just come with just autism. For those that don't know, they come with multiple disabilities. And like Manetta said, when you see one thing and then it continues to multiply, and you find yourself at, like Morgan is 21, you find yourself with an array of, your kids been on an array of medications with an array of side effects. So for me, can you give us a little history about your son and just tell us, what brought you to the doTERRA pathway?
My son is 16 and we don't use the word nonverbal anymore. He's learning how to talk.
I
He's still
like
learning how
that.
to talk because we don't speak those things into existence because they will continue to happen. Well, one of the support groups I was in, my goal, brought in doTERRA to share essential oils with us because a lot of our children are not able to swallow pills. And a lot of times, those medications, or, pharmaceutical medications, do have side effects. And when I was there, the woman came in and she was like, "Well, this is what we use, blah, blah, blah." And she gave me some oil for my neck because my neck was hurting. I was sitting, I'm a caregiver. So my neck is always hurting. So I'm stretching my neck. So she said, "Here, let me give you a few drops of this." And she gave me a drop of marjoram and peppermint oil. And she said, "Just rub this on your neck." And I rubbed it on my neck. I was like, "You're right, lady." Like, okay, my neck been hurt for 20 years. I rubbed it. So I'm sitting and I'm getting relief. And I'm like, "Wait a minute." And she's like, "You good?" I was like, "I think my neck feel better." She said, "Of course it does. You've used a natural remedy for your neck." She said, "You need a support in your neck." So that's how I started my journey. And then I started to ask about my son, and she was like, "Well, there's some things, some oils that you can diffuse that will help calm him in the room, just the aromatherapy, basically." That she said, because I told her, my son does not like to swallow pills. He does not like to take any medication. It's hard. I'm fighting. She said, so many of the medications you can use topical. Like if he has a stomach ache, you can use digestin for support. If he has a headache, you can use frankincense and peppermint oil for support. So I was like, okay. So I started to diffuse, and I noticed a change in his behavior at bedtime when I would diffuse breathe. It would be a signal for him, one, to go to bed, and two, he would sleep much better. So there was some sort of relief in his room. So I was like, okay, we're on to something here. So I began to use a lot of different things for support, not only for him, but for me. It started with me because I was like, whoa, I believe. Because when she gave it to me, I was like, "Ma'am, please take your little oil." And then when she was leaving, I was like, "Hey, can I take this with me?" And she was like, "No, I have another presentation." Let me tell you something, and I don't steal, but I tell the story. I was gonna steal that bottle of oil when she turned her back. I was gonna steal. The only reason why I didn't, because I knew she would knew it was me. But yeah, that's how my journey started, and then I just started telling people about it. I was like, "Listen, my family, my friends." I was like, "You have to try this." And again, like Netta said, nobody's saying ever take yourself off any of your medication. We have our doctors for a reason, but there is other supports out there when we do have special needs children who don't like to take medicine. There are other ways to do it because you can rub the oil on the bottom of their feet or you can rub it on their brain stem, which makes it so much easier than fighting with them.
Well, for me, I will say that I did meet with Manetta last week, and I'm waiting for my delivery tomorrow. I've been stalking it. Because for me, some of the things, of course, that most of our special needs individuals deal with is the lack of sleep, or yeah, they don't sleep. And I don't think people really understand and know that. So naturally, when they don't sleep, we don't sleep. And so for me, I will be honest with you. I was somewhat reluctant back in the day because I did not understand the importance of the natural thing. I didn't. But now I do, because for me, I definitely want to take more of a natural approach. Even the diffusing, I did not really understand a lot of that until Manetta came over and I saw her diffuser and I smelled a lot of the stuff coming out of it. And it was calming. It was beautiful too. It was just it was just everything. And I was like, wow, I am excited to be able to try something in conjunction with her medication
Yes,
to try to get her to calm down, because most of our special needs individuals are always somewhat riled up. And
yes,
like you, my daughter does not speak fluently, because she does, we don't, my husband say we don't understand her, but she understands us. So we don't understand her. And so when she's crying and she's upset, we're at wit's end. So naturally, our goal is to try to figure out something that could truly calm her down, and help her to relax and deal with some of those issues that we don't know.
can I say something?
Yes.
A lot of times the relaxation is because we're not relaxed. right? So when we're tensed up and because we're nervous because I had to just take my son to the hospital because he was thrown, it was a bug going around. But anyway, I put my past tense on my wrist. They got like the little past tense stick. I put the little past tense on my wrist and I put it on my temples and on my neck because he was getting antsy because I was getting antsy. So, and the past tense, he could smell it on me. So I'm like a walking diffuser all the time. I always, frankincense is in my purse. My son knows frankincense and peppermint oil in the car because every day I drop 2 or 3 drops on the carpet and I drop 2 or 3 drops of the frankincense. I put it on his brainstem for both of us to be calm. I put a few drops under my tongue because I noticed that when I'm calm, he's calm because they thrive off our energy. So a lot of times it's because we're frazzled as the caregiver, right, mom? So when you get these oils and you're calm and you're diffusing, you're going to see a change in her behavior because there's going to be a change in your behavior because we do struggle with anxiety, PTSD, and all of these things because we nervous all the time because especially children who are still learning how to speak or have no words yet, we're nervous all the time. So once we get that under control, I promise you, since I've been using different things for my anxiety, because I call Netta, she's like, you got to take adaptive, rub a little, diffuse a little, and once I'm calm, and I'm not saying it really shuts him down, but once I'm calm, he starts to deal a little bit better with me.
That's a great
I don't
point.
know.
I love that. Hmm.
Mm.
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Can you guys can you hear me? I'm having some connection issues.
We
Can
can
you
hear
guys hear
you.
me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So I I've been using doTERRA oils for a while now, and I believe that I got my first package through Manetta many years ago. She came to the house and gave me the whole presentation on doTERRA oils, and I spent a whole lot of money that was well worth spending. I diffuse doTERRA all the time. But what made me really want to go a little deeper into it is I saw a display, a doTERRA display at a vending event, and it had some information about autism. And with Grayson being autistic, I had no idea that um, essential oils could be used to help with individuals with disabilities as autism. So that really got my mind perked up. So I do have my um my kids kit that came in, and I was so excited to start using it. But I started with the calmer on me first, and I used that on my feet and maybe my wrist, and I went to sleep. And honestly, I suffer with insomnia and all of that, so I'm up a lot. I was able to go to sleep. So I am going to start it on Grayson, but I'm just excited about all of it. I've been talking to Manetta and another sister at the church about this, and I'm just excited about what changes I can see in Grayson. And I'm not, gonna stop what he's doing on the medical side. But if I can do things on a natural side that's less harmful to him, then I definitely want to do that. Definitely. And Trey, when you said that you put it on the carpet in your car, I wouldn't have thought about that because Grayson he's sensitive to smells and a lot of different foods, but I never thought about putting it on a carpet. Definitely, I need to rub it on the bottom of his feet, but putting essential oils in the car and the carpet, I never thought about that. That's good. You guys gonna have to give me some literature or something on all the places that we can a couple of drops. If I can put it on his under his pillow, I don't know.
And I'm glad that you guys are focusing on like what you said about the caregivers because I do believe, and I guess for years, um, I've been having PTSD and didn't even realize it. And I will say that when we go places, if it's somewhere new for Morgan, I'm antsy because I know she's antsy. Even when she doesn't sleep, say it's her time to come on her cycle, I will already know like this is going to be a sleepless week, and I just I don't, when you're saying that about the anxiety and the PTSD, my daughter is a headbanger at times. We have her on a helmet. And it's funny because even when she's not here, if somebody is slamming their car door, I'm like jumping up thinking, oh my gosh, she's hitting her head. I could be asleep and I will wake up out of my sleep thinking she's hitting her head. So I love the fact that again, I think the partnership is the caregivers and the special needs individuals. But again, we always talk so much about taking care of our individuals that sometimes we forget about taking care of ourselves. So I love the fact that you're talking about that. Tell me, what other things can we do to really utilize the, like some of the I don't want to say the flavors, but some of the oils that we can use in conjunction with each other. Because I will say that I had some of the friends that use doTERRA, and I guess the combinations is kind of what confuses me, because it's like, what do I mix with this and to get this
Yeah,
result? And
those
it's almost like
recipes.
it's a combination. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's so simple. Pick one up and use it. Your body will put it where it needs to go. And you can literally take the lid off of multiple things. See if you like the smell of that. That body that lets you know, oh, my body might want this, and you use it. It's not like anything deep. You just use it. If you have it, it's gonna go where it needs to go. And with that being said, can I just read my little intro that I wrote out? So, one drop of a pure, that's key, pure, unadulterated, non contaminated essential oil can be made up of hundreds of molecules. One drop. You don't need much. These things are tested grade, so you don't need much of it. Okay. Think about the plant that it was distilled from, the oil was distilled from. That plant, y'all, this is just like us, has gone through something, right? Being in nature, outside, it had to repair itself if it was injured in some way. Communication took place for that repair to happen. It had to guard itself against pests, against threats, dangers, things that it had to recover from. Y'all, God created the plant to build its own medicine cabinet. We get to use that same goodness in the plant for our own medicine cabinet, right? So we use plants that are free from fertilizers, sprayed with pesticides, insecticides, and all the other sides. Extracts from these plants are from the bark, leaves, flowers, stems, and the rind. And because they aren't tampered with, we can trust the cook, right? God made these for us. You know, when you make a dish, you don't want nobody coming in and mess with your pot. I think he feels the same way. Don't mess with his pot. He made it the way it's supposed to work. And so because we are both his creation, it knows where to go in your body. So when you use it, it's going to go where it needs to go and you're going to get the benefits from it. So that's why I love the brand that we use, because I can trust it. When I take that drop out of that bottle, every single time I'm going to get the same result. Every time. I don't know if you're aware. Tylenol, for instance, I shouldn't say the name. Some medications, they have a variance from 90% to 100%. As long as it has that much of the active ingredient in it, it's okay to use. There was a test done on a batch of the oil that we're talking about, the brand, 3% variance, less than the one made in the synthetic arena. So my point is, you can trust what you have, put it on you, it'll go where it's supposed to go, and it'll do the job you're hiring it to do. Because the cook knows what he's doing.
I definitely agree with the cook knows what he's doing. But But I'm gonna be honest with you, Manetta. I was a little skeptical about putting the oil in certain places. Like I just learned that you can put certain oils in your belly button. Like, what is that doing? So please explain to us when we put in oil in our belly button, and what are the types of oils that are that benefits us when we put them in our belly button. What does that do?
That's awesome question. Thank you. So I'll just go here. You can use oils three ways: aromatically, so smelling them; topically, which you just described, as well as some of them internally. So when you put that oil in the belly button, for example, our daughter had severe GI distress growing up. We would put it in the belly button because that's where you want the action to happen. You want it to go directly where the problem is. So that's when I would use the belly button, because if I got something GI going on, is the body's going to take it in and put it where it needs to go. Bottoms of the feet. Why the bottoms of the feet? Well, that's where your nerves end, right? You think about your spinal column, it goes all the way down. They got to end. It's at the feet. So if you put it on the bottoms of the feet, those nerves, those cells, they'll grab it and put it where it needs to go. The spine, same thing. So really, I typically choose the location depending on what I'm trying to address. So regarding the internal usage, that's another thing is important to talk about. It had the bottle that you can use internally has a supplement fact on, like a food label, right? And if you can eat a lemon, you should be able to use the oil from the lemon. If you eat an orange, you should be able to use the oil from the orange. The problem is there's a lot of synthetic oils out there. And that's why you read it, peppermint, lemon, orange, and it'll say for aromatic use only. That's because it's synthetic. It's created in a lab. This is created strictly from the plant, the same plant that we're eating the fruit from, which is why it's different. I hope that was helpful.
Can I say something about the oils too? You have to try what works for you. Because I remember it took time for me to get used to some oils, but now they're my favorites because they help with headaches. But when I first smelled it, I was like, oh my God, I'm not messing with that. Now, frankincense is one of my favorite oils, and the combinations, you have to just play with them because different things work for different people. Now, I could tell you to use, like, I can't use lavender for my son because it makes him hyper, but lavender is supposed to be calming for some people. So you really have to watch. And I would say for me, I use one at a time. Like, let me try this first, right? And then I'll use my citruses together. Like, I'll use orange and lemon in a mix in my diffuser. But I have so many different combinations now that I love that work for me and my son. So I would say, play around with the oils, like, because people will tell you one thing and then that may not work for you and your child. But when you start to use them, you start to notice your daughter chilling out because breathe was his thing. Like in his room, that breathe on, he was chilling. And even, during the seasons when he had stuffy noses, I could use a hot boiling water with a drop of peppermint, a drop of frankincense, a drop of melaleuca, tea tree oil, and I could use the steam to clear him up because he won't take medicine by mouth. So I could just wave the steam under there a few times and he would be opened up like because it's like a steam bath, like because it's hard to get them to do something. So I would have my certain thing. It used to be called flume, frankincense, lemon, oregano, on guard, and melaleuca. You just make a boiling cup of water. Be careful, of course, because it's your child. And you put a drop of each in, and then you just the steam. And when I tell you, if you go in a room and close the door, it'll clear everybody out. So it's just a matter of working through what you need it for and just doing different combinations. And you'll start to love certain oils. Like I always have 20 bottles of peppermint and several bottles of frankincense because those are just I cannot run out of those. I cannot run. And PB Assist for my son, he takes that every day for his gut. because he's not a very good eater. But PB Assist every day has totally turned his behaviors around. Like has really helped with the behaviors because there was something going on in the gut. So you just got to start playing with them, and just this is another thing: consistency. So many people will take their medication from their doctor every morning at 9 a.m., 6 a.m., but complain because they took the oil once. It's like you have to do the same thing with that. You have to diffuse that breathe every night. You have to diffuse that, or you have to take that PB assist every day until it gets into the system, until it becomes a routine. And then you'll start to see the changes. And what took you so long to become whatever's bothering you is going to take time for the oils to get into your system and correct and start to support, I should say, not correct, but to support your immune system or support your body or support whatever's going on. But you have to be consistent, just like you're consistent with your medications, and it'll help together.
I like that, Trey. I definitely I would love to improve my grandson's gut health. Because of the foods that he's eating. He's not able to tolerate a lot of foods, but he definitely tolerate the ones that he should not. So I definitely would like to do something to help with gut health. Now, on guard for me, when someone uses on guard, it instantly triggers my migraine. Is there something else that, because I suffer with migraines and I've got vertigo, is there an oil that, because I know someone else had mentioned On Guard, but it's too strong, the smell, just if someone has it on their hands as a hand sanitizer, it triggers my migraine. Is there something that I can use that's a little less strong for the migraine? Is there somewhere where, we can go and find out what these recipes are? What can we mix together to, help our health?
For sure. I have my oil Bible, I call it, right here in front of me. It's called The
Let me see how
Essential
big,
Life.
how, oh, that's a thick book.
Yeah, but it's got every oil, a recipe for everything you can think of. So it's a great go-to when you have a question. As regarding your immune system, there are other things that you can use because On Guard is a blend. Maybe you just need one of the oils out of that. You can use frankincense. You can use um, clove. You can use tea tree. I mean, there are other things you can use. If it's something that's bothering you and you know what's in the blend, deconstruct it and just use one of them.
So it's
And
almost like doing process of elimination, like what Trey said, kind of going back and finding out what's in that blend and then using one at a time to find out which one is strong that's kind of bringing about your migraines. Is that what you kind of saying, Manetta?
I am.
No.
So I would probably just start with with the On Guard. If you don't want to use it, that's perfectly fine. Use clove on the bottoms of your feet. Use geranium on the bottoms of your feet. Get it away from your nose, but so your body can pull it in and use it. I like to tell people if a smell is not something you prefer, dilute it. We all should dilute anyway. So use a carrier oil with it on the bottoms of your feet and put some socks on until it absorbs. It's not going to stay forever. So just finding again what works for you is so important because we are uniquely created. So what our needs are and how we meet them will be unique as well.
And see, and
I
I
would
was rubbing it on my temple, so I don't even know if I did that right.
No, for migraines, that's what you were using for the migraine.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, frankincense is for the migraine. I'm
Oh,
sorry, we
okay.
don't even supposed to be saying disease names. For that severe head tension.
Oh,
But another thing too is that's what I was gonna say, Netta. So you said perfectly what I was gonna say. The tension, right, is causing the tightness. Let's say tightness. The tension is caused tightness. So when I'm experiencing a headache, I use deep blue, and I have the deep blue stick, and I rub the deep blue on my shoulders, And when I'm experiencing tension, I take peppermint. You gotta be careful because you don't want to get in your eyes. But I take peppermint oil and put it right here, and it relieves so much tension because we are caregivers,
Mhm.
and this is how we are. So I have to tell myself to put the deep blue on. Then I have to tell myself put your shoulders down because you tripping, like you stress, your head's hurting because you like this, and everything's going on. So I could take that deep blue and give myself 5 minutes. I promise you, give myself 5 minutes. And the smell of the deep blue is so beautiful. Like it is to me. The deep blue is beautiful to me, and the peppermint. So I put it right here and all the way over here. Now you don't want to get it anywhere near your eyes because it is potent. And I'll put it right here, and then I'll just breathe. Even with the migraine, with the peppermint, sometimes when I'm in my car and I'm waiting on Jermaine to come out of school, drop a peppermint before you get in the car, drop a frankincense, and I'm ready for him. And I'm relaxed. And the teachers come to my car. They're like, "Your car smells so good," because every morning I drop 2 drops of frankincense and 2 drops of peppermint, and my babies are walking diffused in their school.
It's
They,
amazing he want to get out that car. I got to
this,
push Morgan out. I'm like, you got to get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. That's funny you said that they diffuse in the school. So I am going to talk to my grandson's doctors to see if I can get clearance to send the calmer to school, either the calmer or maybe thinker. I'm not sure which one, to just help him throughout the day. I'm just going to express, that I would like to do something that's a little more natural. He's got allergies and things like that. So I definitely want to try a more natural approach. But Trey, let me ask you a question. When you started the oils on your son, um, did you immediately see some results, or did it take time? And seeing, I'm such a person that I don't believe all stories. Now, I'm not saying that I don't believe y'all stories. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. It just, I like to see the results. I want to see the data. Like, does this stuff really work? And I asked the sister at the church, does it really work? I'm willing to try it, but so with you trying it on your son, how soon did you start seeing some results?
depending on what it is, like with a stomach ache, the digestion worked. I had to call Netta. Remember Netta? I was like, oh my goodness, he has a stomach ache. He's throwing up. She's like, I think it was digestion and ginger. You said dilute it, put it in his belly button, and it worked almost immediately. That worked almost immediately. The breathe was a process of him getting used to it. It was a process, but I noticed that it was a signal for him. The aroma was a signal for him that it was bedtime. So he started, when he smelled it in the house, he would go in his room, and
Mm,
I was
okay.
like, oh, that's interesting. But it was the aroma. It was like a normal routine. Now, like, oh, let me go relax. So it does take some time. Some things take time, and some things are immediate.
Now I want to ask about the calm. I hear you guys talking about the calm. Is that what you put in the diffuser, or is that like a something you put like topically? How does that? How do you
So
use
Calmer
that?
is in the kids line, and
Okay.
it is for relaxation. It's a roller, the one that you just roll on their spine or feet or let them smell. But that's comparable to what we talked about, which is Serenity,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So Calmer is the kids version
Okay.
of Serenity.
Okay. Now Serenity is, and I think did I get that, Manetta?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So Serenity is that a roller, or is that a oil that you put on?
It's three different ways. So
Okay.
Serenity, you can get it in an oil,
Hmm.
you can get it in a soft gel, and you get it in a stick. Y'all remember
Mm.
the old school cocoa butter stick?
Yeah.
A
This comes in
soft
a stick.
gel?
Yeah,
What?
soft gel. So it comes in a stick like that. So you can, just rub it on their chest, rub it on their feet, rub it on their spine, massage their back, because kids need touch too. And sometimes I get it,
Yeah.
they don't want to be touched, but when they do, that's a great
Mhm.
way for the connection to happen. So Serenity is a line, and if anybody wants to see the research on it, you go to training.doterra.com, and there's a whole course on Serenity.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up. I do.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask Trey about um the gut cleaner, because of course most of I know my daughter has um I, I know y'all don't want to call it, but she does have cerebral palsy. She has poor muscle tone. And so what the doctor has her on is Miralax, just to kind of have her to have a bowel movement every day. So naturally, it's not to say that I wouldn't use it, but I wanted to kind of see, does it work in conjunction with the what is it, the PB gut cleaner, or do you do it does that kind of take the place of it? How does that work?
My son, I give him PB assist
Okay.
to assist so he gets the things that he needs from the food. Now Netta can help more with that question than I can because I'm more of using one thing for him, and he's 16. So there are other products that can go with that for her gut. Like there's a whole protocol that you can use for her.
Hmm.
Netta can walk you through that. Like one, I started with the PB assist because that's what I think that he needs right now because he doesn't eat well. But Netta can give you like the things that go along with the PB assist for someone your daughter's age.
Okay.
Because
And the PB assist, is that on the kid side, or is that on the adult side?
both,
Oh, okay.
it's
Okay.
both. So Netta,
Okay.
why don't you jump in with the PB assist, the probiotics, and the gut issues that may be arising in her daughter.
Yeah, so because what you mentioned, the source of it is neurological,
Hmm.
thinking frankincense to wake up those nerves in that area a little bit. But you
Hmm.
can also use the PB Assist. It's a little sachet, a little packet, and it's powder. Some people, kids love it like a pixie stick.
Okay.
They just eat it and they're done. And then some people they add it into something they're already drinking.
Okay.
So that's just for the gut, and we that's important because mood, immune system,
Hmm.
cognition, all of that's impacted by gut health.
Yes.
And
And
it
I will
has
say, a
tremendous.
lot of people that have any type of kid with a or an adult that has special needs, most of them say, and I don't know how true it is. I'm not pushing anything, guys, but I know they say a lot of it starts with the gut health. But I don't think, I will say that I don't think it's just with our special needs individuals. You think about us, our neurotypical. If your gut is not cleaned out, a lot of times that's where a lot of diseases and stuff come from. So I do think that that's quite important. I think for me, just because my daughter can't tell me my tummy hurts, or
Yeah.
I'm backed up, I watch my daughter every day, and my husband and my son think I'm crazy, but I learned long time ago to watch her bowels.
Mhm.
First of all, I want her to have a bowel movement every day. Secondly, I like to see what I'm feeding her is coming through her bowel. So I learned long time ago from someone. I had an African teacher, and he was like, we all should be looking at our bowels, because you need to make sure that what you have eaten is coming through your bowels. So my husband and my son like, you're crazy, because I hate for them to go, and I'm like, if she has a bowel movement, they'll be like, oh, I'll refer. I'm like, well, did you see what color was it? I don't know. Well, what did it, was it a lot? I don't know. Well, was it balls? Because people don't realize, if they're little balls, that means they're constipated. So these are things for my daughter that I have watched over the years, and I try to keep an eye on when her cycle is coming by, keeping a schedule. I try to make sure her bowels are regular, because the last thing you want is for her bowels to back up and she's not able to tell me my tummy
Right.
hurts, or there's an obstruction of some kind. So I'm very, very careful when it comes to her bowels. I am.
My
Yeah.
son has, since we've been doing the PB assist, he literally, when he's home, he won't go in school, which drives me crazy because I wish he would go in school, but he's starting to go in school now. But my son has three bowel movements a day whenever he eats since we've been on the PB assist, and it bugs me out. But the doctor said that everybody's supposed to have a bowel movement after they eat. But he poops three times a day when he's
Oh,
home.
wow.
Wow.
Breakfast, pancakes, couple hours, he poop. After he have lunch, few hours he poop, and before he go to bed, it's very rare that he doesn't have three bowel movements a day. And I'm just like, I'm doing something right because it's coming out. So when he doesn't, then I know something's going on. It's a little off now because he's been back in school
Mhm.
and he doesn't like to go to the bathroom in school for some reason. I'm like, boy, go to the bathroom.
Yeah, my daughter
Yeah.
doesn't do that. Even in
Yeah.
unfamiliar places, I'm like that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
we
Um,
all are.
yeah,
But I don't want it to mess up his,
yes.
he poops after he eat, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, we used to too when we were younger until our body we started taking in too much different stuff. But all of us are supposed to have three bowel movements a day. Like we supposed to have a bowel movement after every meal that we have. Unfortunately, we don't. But the PB assist helped him with that because he was struggling with some issues, and he still does sometimes. But the PB assist, the name, it definitely has assisted his gut and his behaviors. It definitely changed the dynamic of what was going on with him because he wasn't getting what he needed. So I would suggest any parent, and it's easy because I just put it in his juice.
Yeah, that's more.
It
That's the
fixes it.
Miralax. Now, how long has he been on that? If you don't mind me asking,
Oh my goodness.
that long?
Yes.
Wow. Because you know how too sometimes they say your body can get used to something.
Mhm.
Because at one time my daughter was using stuff and it was like, oh yes, and she's going every day, and then her body starts getting used to it, and then I have to change it up. Okay.
When he
Yeah.
ran out one time, I forgot to order. I'm
Mm,
telling you, the behaviors came back. I was like, oh no. So now I have an extra box. Like I can't. That don't get low. That
okay.
that don't get low. I'm sorry. I'm from the hood, but that don't get low. We don't have that. I don't have to listen. I'm like, yo, I had to call doTERRA. I was like, I need this overnight, like, because his behaviors, because his stomach was bothering him, and like you said with the
Mhm.
head banging, our kids are not just flapping and head banging and smack. They're trying to tell us my stomach hurt, my head hurts, my
Yeah.
hand,
Something's hurting.
something is bothering them when they're doing those behaviors. And that's
Yes.
why we have to internally make sure that they're okay because they're banging their head. What would you do if you couldn't verbalize that your stomach was hurting? You'd rock. We're like, oh, they're stemming. No, they trying to tell you my stomach hurt and they trying to take a poop. But what would you do if your head was hurting and no somebody's giving you juice and you like juice, you gonna bang your head like, yo, you're not understanding what I'm talking about here. So I'm gonna give you a behavior to make you pay attention until you figure this mess out. That's why they're doing stuff, pulling their
Yeah.
ears, scratching and biting at us because they're trying to communicate a problem to us. It's like a baby. When a baby is hungry, it's gonna cry. When a baby has a string or something that's sticking them, it's gonna cry and it's gonna keep crying until you find out the problem. No, I don't want a bottle. I have poop in my diaper. So this is the same thing with our special needs babies. Until
Yeah.
we figure out what it is, they're gonna bang their heads, scratch their eyes, flap, rock back and forth. And as soon as we figure out, oh, you got stomach ache, and we give them something, you'll see them calm. I'm learning that, and I've been on the oils for a while now with him, and I'm learning that me taking care of me with my oils, my bone nutrients. My sister is trying to handle a 16-year-old young man, and my bones is no, we can't have that. Like I have to have things in me internally. I have to take a bath. With a few drops of whatever oil I decide. It could be peppermint. I have a bottle of peppermint in my shower. When I go in there, sometimes I call it my spa. I put the water
Yeah.
on a little extra hot, drop a few drops, and I'm in there just breathing. As long as I can hear him and I know he's good, I'm in there like I'm at the spa. You could put a few drops of oil in your Epsom salt, sit in
Mhm.
that tub, even if it's 10 minutes. We are no good to our children with oils or anything if we're not good to ourselves. There's so many products for us, but we forget about us, and we're not doing that anymore. I take my stuff. I have frankincense, turmeric, adaptive, DDR prime, bone nutrients. I got my stuff because I'm like, listen, sis, you tired today. You need to, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take your vitamins, you're going to be tired, period. And it's consistency, consistency. And the vitamins taste good. Don't judge me. Remember we were little, we eat the Flintstone vitamins because they taste good. You chew up the whole bottle. The vitamins taste good. So I'm not gonna drink more than one packet a day. But when I drink it, I enjoy it with some cold water. I'm like, yo, this is and the electrolytes. I like them. I actually like them. It's like a treat for me because it's sweet. It's not so you don't have to drink a strawberry soda or whatever. You can drink them. Them electrolytes taste good to me.
I had no idea that doTERRA had so many products. It has come a long way from just having just oils to now vitamins to a lot of things. And I put eucalyptics in my shower. I just take that bottle and just pretty much empty it out, and I sit in there and that's my little spa. So I get that. Do you guys have anywhere pamphlets, a website, a resources page where we can go to figure out all the products that you have and the benefits to those products? Because I hear you, Trey, saying a whole lot that my brain is like, you need that. You need to do that. You need that. But I had no idea that you guys had that. So maybe Manetta, you and Jasmine, we can get together and try to figure out what else can I use to try to change um, my health a little bit on a natural side of it, because you guys, doTERRA has a lot of products. I just got the toothpaste with my the kids kit. The toothpaste was free. So I really like that. When you buy some products, you get some products free. So I was able to try, I got two different flavors of toothpaste. So I was able to try that, and I'm going to try that on Grayson because I didn't think that the taste was that bad. So I'm going to try it on him. But I didn't know you guys had toothpaste.
Even the diffusing, though, so many people have those things that they put in the wall. I don't want to say any brand
Mhm.
names or
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
And I just, those things are not good for us. It's not good for us to breathe in certain things. It is affecting our children. No matter what you think, like you have to go through your whole house when your children are having behaviors or not sleeping. If they have something plugged in their socket that is putting out a fragrance that is not natural, it is disturbing them, right? Because the other day, like I buy unscented garbage bags because the scented ones kill me now. Like I'm just like, oh my head. I made a mistake yesterday actually because I went to buy small bags for my bathroom. And when I opened that box, when I tell you from being natural to being exposed to something that's not natural, that lets you know that your body is like, no, you do not belong inhaling this. When I opened that box and that fragrance came out, I instantly had a headache. Instantly. And I said, I thought these were unscented. And because I didn't buy my large garbage bags because they didn't have the unscented. So I still have a few left because I know when I smell those garbage bags, those dryer sheets. I bought about a little pack of those dryer sheets because I was out and I had ran out. And I left them in my car by mistake. When I tell you I threw it out of my car so fast because I was like, why is my head hurting? And I was like, oh, you didn't snuck in my back trunk. So we have to be mindful of everything that we breathe in, everything that we put on It is all going inside of us, whether we're breathing it, ingesting it, or putting it on us. It is going in us and it will disrupt our hormones as caregivers. We have to be very careful because what's disrupting us is going to cause us unease, and it's going to make us uneasy, and it's going to make our children uneasy because they vibe off of us. So when we're feeling good, I promise you they're feeling good. My son can tell immediately. Remember, we carried them. Remember, we carried them. So they feel every bit, whatever. My son, I'm telling you, when I go out, he don't like me to go out. So I try not to act like I'm going out. Right? I'm acting normal. I don't have my clothes laid out or nothing. He is so in tune with me that he knows. And I'm just like, I promise you, I'm not acting excited. I'm monotone. He can tell. He's like, somebody coming to watch me. And I'm just like, how do you know this? Because we carried them. So we have to be very careful about us being healthy, us being calm, because it levels the playing field for us. I'm telling you, when I was anxious, because my son had an aggressive behavior for the first time, and I had never seen that before, and it made me totally anxious, right? So he took complete control of the house because he knew I was anxious. But when I got myself back and I was sitting, I was like, you know what? I have to bring myself back. I called Netta. Remember, Netta, you said you need to get your adaptive, you need to get yourself together. So I got my adaptive, I got the capsules and I got the oil. And I got myself together and I stood up to him. We've been good ever since. Because he was feeding off of my anxiety. He knew there was some fear there. When I'm feeling like that with him still, because I still have moments when I hear him make certain sounds because he has been aggressive. All right, girl. You don't want him to feel that energy because he's gonna take advantage of you. So it's so important for the caregiver to be mellow, to be calm, and more than anything, to be healthy and have the support that we deserve. Not that we need it, but we also deserve it. We deserve to have a good foundation in our body as well. So I'm just encouraging us to not only think about them, like Paula, is it Paula? I don't have my glasses on.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But like Paula said, we have to make sure that we're taking care of them. We're so busy taking care of them,
Mhm.
feeding them 3 meals a day, making sure they take a shower, making sure they dress properly, making sure we are not taking care of ourselves. We can't neglect ourselves to take care of them. We should be eating. And Netta knows I went through this serious weight loss because I didn't even realize I wasn't eating. I was eating peanuts, nuts, and berries for about 6 months. And I had lost about 25 pounds.
Mm.
I thought something was wrong with me. And I went to the doctor. The doctor was like, how much do you eat? And I was like,
Mm.
I don't even think I eat. So she made me do a food log, and I realized that I wasn't feeding myself. So it is so important for us to make sure we love on us.
And I will say that even starts with sleep. I think most of us are totally sleep deprived. Um, and
That
I say that all the time. I mean, and if I had to, I just retired last year, and most people were like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I don't want to do anything." And most people can't understand that. But I was like, "Listen, Morgan is 21. Do you understand how much sleep I have lost over 21 years?" And in addition to the nights in the that she would not sleep and I walked the floors, I still had to go to work. So people don't understand that I really most days I will tell you, of course I go to the gym and I do different things like that. But for the most part, I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like running anywhere. I don't feel like doing anything because I feel like I'm catching up on sleep from 21 years. And it's so here's one of our she says this all the time. This is one of our team members. And it is a must. It's totally a must. And I will say this. Manetta, we met last week and I ordered a whole array of things. And one thing I said is, and Manetta know, I told her, I'm not saying I'm rich, but you know, one thing that I did say is I said, I'm retired and I want to, I'm 55. I've gotten to 55, thank the Lord. But I want to start investing in taking care of myself. And that is so important to me, investing in taking care of myself, because, like you say, and this is my closing remarks. I know we're getting ready to go, but this was such a great show because I think um, I was never I wasn't pessimistic, but I wasn't always optimistic. I'm like, yeah, I don't have time to do that. Just pop a pill in her mouth, pop a pill in my mouth, and do what we got to do. But again, as we're getting older, as we're seeing a lot of things changing in our world and our society, you have to be more mindful of what you're putting in your mouth, what you're putting on your body. And so for me, I think it was time. And one quick story, today I went and I thought about what Trey said. I took Morgan to the doctor today. When you say communication is so good, I went and took her to speech therapy. She was so happy. She was sitting in her stroller, and she can walk, but she can just be lazy sometimes. But she was sitting in her stroller, and I was feeding her something for at the place. She got up and she left out and she sat in the hallway. And we were trying to figure out what she's doing. Do you know, she was telling me she had to go to the bathroom, but because she's not able to verbalize it, she was saying, and I knew, I was like, I think she gotta go to the bathroom. When she came back, I kept pulling her to come back in. Once she came back in, I was like, I said, I knew it. She had to use the bathroom. But you know what she did when she came back in, Trey? She stemmed. She sat there and kept stemming. She kept stemming. And what hurt, just what you said, she was trying to tell me. She couldn't verbalize it, but she was trying to show and tell me I have to use the bathroom. And but I did give her kudos because I was like, Morgan, you were communicating with me. I just did not take the cues, and I should have known that. So you're right. She sat there on that floor. She came back in the room and she sat there and stemmed for like 2 minutes until I figured out she had to use the bathroom. So that's important. So those are my closing remarks. When I tell you I enjoyed this, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And Manetta, we're gonna become bester, if that's a word, bester friends, because we definitely, I want to explore doing more and being able to figure out what works for Morgan, but not just Morgan, it's for me and hubby. What works for us,
Mhm,
because we're the
mhm.
caregivers. So that's my closing remarks. I'm gonna go around to Bunny, Manetta, and then Trey, because we got to get out of here. But thanks, guys, for this show. Wonderful.
Paula, when you said my closing remarks, I hadn't even looked at the clock. Oh my goodness. Manetta, go ahead. I'm going to give up my time. Thank y'all so much. This has been amazing. I diffuse the oils and everything, but just everything new that I can be doing, I definitely want to try it. Um, so we'll get together, Manetta, but go ahead. This has been great.
Thank you all for the opportunity to share. Thank you for your heart to serve others. You're still caregiving in this space. You're serving other people, looking out for others. So thank you for your heart and for this opportunity. I will say a couple of things. Please do not, I repeat, do not go on Amazon and all these other places buying your doTERRA oils because they are not pure. They are whatever whoever is selling it wanted to put in the bottle. Do not do that. That's important. The other thing is, Bunny, you mentioned, what does my body need? How do I figure out what I need to do for me? Well, I'm glad you asked. Paula experienced this last week. I have something, it's a scanner. It tells you exactly what your body is in need of, and you just create again what you need. Everybody's unique, and what you do today impacts how you feel later. Your cells are only comprised of what you give them, right? So we need to make those decisions wisely. Thank you to you all. If anybody wants a free resource that I've created for autism parents and caregivers, send me an email at manetta@manettafields.com. I created it just for you. It's an easy step-by-step, some place to get started. So that resource is available to you. And if you are in the DMV, let me know. I will give you a scan and find out what you need as caregivers. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you all again.
Manetta, please put that in the comment section so that can appear. Go ahead, Trey.
Thank you for having me. And again, I just want to say take care of yourself so that you can take care of your children because you deserve to be taken care of.
Mhm. This has been so awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Somebody wanted us to have a part two. We most likely will,
Yeah.
because I don't think the time went too fast. It
Too
did.
fast. You said closing remarks. I had to look at the clock. It
Yes.
went too fast. Too
And
fast.
guys, what advocates say, we want to tell you guys that we have a lot coming up. We have a fundraiser, we having a raffle. So keep your eyes and ears open. We have a lot going on. Thank you guys for the walk that we had, but we're going to do it again this year. It's going to be bigger and better as a result of Miss Bunny handling that. So we just thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the beautiful comments. We know we didn't get to them, but they were all compliments. Manetta and Trey can go back and look at them. But again, yeah, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit up Manetta, hit up Trey. And again, we will see you all next Thursday for another episode of Advocacy.